Well, the European backlash against the EU's shambolic handling on vaccines continues to grow right across the continent. A German journalist writing, really letting rip in the Times recently. Before I get to that, I just want to give context as to where we are. Because I saw this tweet today, it was actually posted yesterday by Stanley Pignall, who tweeted, 4,560 people vaccinated in France yesterday. Not 4,500 per 100,000, just 4,560 in the whole country. It goes on to say, looking at the curve tells you two things. The state can't be asked to mobilise 7 days a week and vaccines are running out. Just to contrast that, more than 500,000 people in England received a vaccine in England alone on Saturday. Quite the contrast then. And I'll bring up the latest statistics here. So that shows you where we are. No wonder the backlash against the unelected EU Commission, who have been shambolic in their response to all of this, are receiving criticism. And Peter Tiede, chief political reporter for Bild, the German daily, penning a piece in the Times recently. Headline, Ursula von der Leyen's mess has disgraced Europe. He writes, how we Germans made fun of these strange Brexit birds with the weird Euro-populist Boris Johnson at their head, marching out of the EU. Ridiculous. Well, they'll soon see what they're left with without Europe all alone. Now we see it, he says. All of us, 83 million Germans and all of Europe, undersupplied with vaccines, left lagging behind not only the US and Canada, but also Britain. Of all the people, it was Johnson who got it right. He ordered vaccines for the British in time, generously and sufficiently in surplus. And we, he writes, we have done everything wrong and are struggling with a vaccination disaster. We screwed up, we ordered too little too late, we were stingy too lame. As a result, Poland and Hungary are already wondering what on earth the EU is about. And I think it's important to highlight articles like this because, as I said, all too often in the UK mainstream media on TV, there seems to be a tendency to be overly negative about this country, to bash this country. Actually, when you look across Europe right now, there are a lot of people wondering why on earth our governments haven't gone down the route of the British rather than slavishly following this outdated, ridiculous EU model with unelected EU commissioners way out of their depth, making, let's not forget, Ursula von der Leyen, and we'll get onto this in a minute, but Ursula von der Leyen was not popular in Germany. As I highlighted in a video yesterday, a majority of Germans didn't think she would make a good EU Commission president, but as we know in the EU, public opinion seems to matter very little. Johnson negotiated as hard as nails and paid well for vaccines. Peter Tiede goes on to write in the Times. And what did the EU do? It created the biggest confidence-destroying programme in its history. On top of this, Brussels and the governments of the EU states have managed to confirm the old prejudice of a sluggish Europe. Von der Leyen started a dispute with the vaccine supplier AstraZeneca, which was supposed to look daredevilish but was just dumb. She has disgraced Europe. Again, this is a former German defence minister, now the EU Commission president, with a German journalist saying that she has disgraced Europe. And he goes on to write, as Germany's defence minister, she had already failed miserably in the procurement of helicopters, aircraft and weapons. Angela Merkel ordered her away to the European Commission. And interesting what impact this will have on the European view of the EU moving forward. Writing, again, in this article, just as Europe has been doing for decades with its discarded political personnel, discarded of like nuclear waste in the final repository of Brussels. That is the story that Johnson has told the British again and again. He, the European populace, now we agree with him. And he concludes the piece by saying the whole situation is embarrassing because we are now the fools, especially when we look at the island that once belonged to our EU. And as the Times highlight, this isn't just a single journalist criticising the EU approach in Europe now. You've got Austrian tabloid has derided the EU's vaccination strategy as a total disaster. A Berlin daily saying Brussels' refusal to own up to its mistakes was jaw-dropping and bordered on shamelessness. Once again, of course, this all highlights the massive advantages of being outside of the EU, living in a self-governing, independent nation that doesn't have these important decisions made at EU Commission level, but has a British government in control that can be held accountable at the ballot box. As ever, guys, let me know what you make of this from Peter Tiede. As I said, he's the chief political reporter for Bild, the German daily. Do let me know, and as ever, if you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Would really appreciate that. And of course, make sure you've hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss my next video. And of course, if you want to support my work, do hit the join button. See the link in the top pinned comment. And of course, guys, as ever, thank you so much for watching.